This wall outlet looks like the most local object in the room. But under the right solar storm, the problem does not begin in the building, the street, or even the weather above it. It begins on the sun. So how does space weather get to the socket? To answer that, start with what the outlet is hiding. From here, nothing about the outlet says 150 million kilometers. You see 2 slots in a wall. That's it. Not exactly cosmic evidence. But behind it, copper disappears into the building, then out toward transformers, substations, and transmission lines. In Quebec, electricity can move across huge distances before it ever reaches an apartment in Montreal. The outlet is not the system, it is the last visible inch of it. Now jump to the far end of the story. The grid-relevant kind of solar storm is not the sun simply getting brighter and cooking your extension cord from space. The sun can launch a huge moving disturbance, charged plasma-carrying magnetic fields. If that eruption is aimed toward Earth, it travels through space like weather for the magnetic environment. Not weather for your skin, weather for the planet's invisible wiring. Earth does have protection. Its magnetic field and atmosphere keep people on the ground from being directly exposed to the worst of solar activity. But the magnetic field is not a concrete wall. It bends. It compresses on the sun-facing side. It stretches into a long tail on the night side. During a strong storm, it can ripple and reorganize. So the surface stays calm, but the space around Earth is no longer quiet. Sometimes the clue is beautiful. Auroras appear when energized particles interact with oxygen and nitrogen high in the atmosphere. To someone looking up, it is a curtain of green and red light. To the grid, the aurora is not the cause of the problem. It is evidence that the upper atmosphere and magnetic environment are disturbed. A beautiful sky for people can be a sky with paperwork for grid operators. Now the route reaches the important handoff. A changing magnetic field can create an electric field, and if there is a conductor available, that electric field can drive current. This is not solar electricity pouring into your lamp. It is induction, magnetic change becoming electrical motion. And power grids contain exactly the kind of conductors where this matters most. Very long, connected lines stretched across the landscape. Long lines do not just sit under the storm. They give the changing field a route through metal. A solar storm becomes electricity's problem when the sun disturbs Earth's magnetic field and our longest wires turn that disturbance into current. That unwanted current can enter the grid through grounded equipment and flow through transmission lines and transformers. To a transformer, it can behave like a slow extra push in one direction, different from the alternating current the system is built to handle. That can heat equipment, distort normal operation, trigger protective systems, and make voltage control harder. The short wall wire is not the star. The long grid behind it is. The sun never has to enter the room. It only has to make the grid behind the wall share a problem with the sky. And this is not just theoretical. On March 13, 1989, a powerful geomagnetic storm contributed to the collapse of the Hydro-Quebec power system. More than 6 million people lost power. The story was not that the sun zapped their homes. It was that Earth's disturbed magnetic environment induced currents in long electrical infrastructure, and the grid had to deal with the consequences. That does not mean your outlet is a solar storm detector. Most solar activity does not become a grid emergency, and modern operators monitor space weather for exactly this reason. The point is stranger and quieter than panic. Return to the apartment. The outlet has not changed, no sparks, no drama, just the same small shape near the floor. But now it is harder to see it as only local. Behind it is a building, a city grid, long transmission lines, transformers, Earth's magnetic field, and sometimes, far upstream, the sun throwing magnetic weather into space. The socket is not a portal, it is an endpoint, and modern electricity is not sealed off from the sky. It lives inside a planetary magnetic environment. So the next time you see an ordinary wall outlet, remember the room may be calm, but the system behind the wall is part of something much larger. If you want more strange routes through the invisible world, subscribe. The universe has excellent wiring.